You clerked on the U.S. Supreme Court for Justice Breyer in October term 1999. Is that right?
That is right.
That was the same, and you clerked for Justice Breyer.
I did.
And that was the same year that the Supreme Court issued its decision in a case called Stenberg versus Carhart. This is the case where the Supreme Court of the United States struck down a Nebraska law prohibiting partial birth abortion, in the absence of circumstances where the baby posed a threat to the life of the mother. Now, to be clear, the law prohibited a procedure where the abortionist causes an unborn baby to be partially delivered by the mother, and then the abortionist intentionally kills the baby outside the womb by puncturing its skull with scissors and then collapsing the skull. This is gruesome, and I don't like having to quote this, but it is relevant to the topic we're covering here. Justice Kennedy described it this way in chilling terms when in his dissent, when he describes the fact that when scissors are inserted into the back of the head, the fetus's body, wholly outside the woman's body and alive, reacts as though startled and then goes limp. Justice Scalia, in his great eloquence, lamented the ruling, but also expressed optimism for the fact that future courts would get it right, saying, quote, "I'm optimistic enough to believe that one day Stenberg versus Carhart will be assigned to its rightful place in the history of this court's jurisprudence beside Korematsu and Dred Scott. This method of killing a human child, one cannot even accurately say an entirely unborn human child, prescribed by this statute is so horrible that the most clinical description of it evokes a shudder of revulsion." We then saw a few years later the Supreme Court of the United States issue a different ruling. The Supreme Court issued a different ruling in a case called Gonzalez v. Carhart. Gonzalez v. Carhart upheld a different statute. This one was federal rather than state, but it was a different federal statute that also prohibited partial birth abortion. Judge Jackson, can you distinguish these cases for me? What was the difference between Gonzalez v. Carhart, where the partial birth abortion ban in question was upheld, whereas in Stenberg v. Carhart, it was invalidated?
Thank you, Senator. I don't have the opinions in front of me. I think it had to do with the method of extraction, the fact-finding related to the procedure. In one case, the district court had made some findings and the court felt bound by them. In another, there was considerations beyond those that were previously relied upon. So there were distinctions that the court looked at and considered in the cases, but yes.